Good morning. This is Kirsten. Here we go. Move things around so that I can see you. You can see me. How are you doing this morning? My name is Kirsten Foss, for those of you that don't know who I am. And I'm a business coach for the salon and spa industry. And I basically teach, good morning, Rebecca, it's afternoon for you. I teach salon and spa owners the business side of their business. And I'm really passionate about this because we went to school to learn our trade, but unfortunately when we went out on our own to fulfill our dream to have our own spa, we realized we were completely lacking on the business info. So that's my job, that's what I do, and my intention in my career at this stage is to pay it forward to other spa owners. So I'm in my little studio here. This is my latest incarnation of my business, of my aesthetic business. I'm only in here 2 days a week now, and my clients are not happy. They're sad that I'm going down in days, and pretty soon I'll be going down another day. But today is a day where I'm in my studio in a few hours, and I wanted to hop on Periscope and talk some more about spa business. And today I wanted to talk about leadership. And in particular, I wanted to talk about why some business ideas of yours work and why some don't. And I think that there is often an overarching theme. And that theme is, I would say it's called moving too quickly through things. And I get it. We are, our passion is hands-on services with our clients. And so business doesn't necessarily come naturally to us. And so we may find an idea that, either somebody else has done and that's been successful and we want to apply it to our own business. Maybe your mentor has suggested something for you. Your business coach has suggested something for you. And, it can either be, a complete success, it can be meh, or it can be a complete fail. And I have three things to talk about that process and why I think, these ideas that you have can sometimes fail. So in that theme of speed, we tend, because we aren't super comfortable with business, we tend to go through things, through our thought processes rather quickly. And what ends up happening is we just kind of skim the surface of an idea and have a tendency to kind of throw it out there. And then when it doesn't work, I often hear, yeah, that doesn't work, or it sucks, or I tried that already, and kind of, not willing to revisit it again. But, the number one thing that, the process and where it starts is that salon and spa owners, when they get a business idea, whether it's been given to them or, it's something really innovative, what I find happens is that they don't dive deep enough into the research and the planning part of it. And as you can imagine, if you're not super, if you don't know a lot about that idea, and you've just got a little bit of information, whether you've, grabbed it from the internet or a friend, like I said, if you don't dive deep enough into the research of that idea, who's done it before? What are the different incarnations of that idea? What are the successes and fails? What are the possibilities of that idea? What demographic did it work in better than others? There's just so many pieces to an idea that you need to think about. And in order to execute it, you need to first know where are you coming from? Like where's the idea coming from, and what are the possible outcomes? And in order to do that, you need to do your research. Then you need to put some time and energy into planning out how this idea of yours is going to work. So the first part is going too fast through the research and planning stage. The second part of this is that you end up launching your idea too quickly. And of course, when it's not well thought out, it's much easier to be a flop. And it's much easier to just to think that didn't work, on to the next thing. And unfortunately, what I often see with owners is kind of the shiny penny syndrome, where they think that, they're always looking for the next marketing silver bullet. They're always looking for, what's new, what could I be doing new? But they forget that there's probably some, tried and true ideas, concepts, systems, tactics that could still work really, really well. And either A, you've forgotten that you've done it and that it did work really well. So I'm always saying repeat what works instead of always thinking what's new and shiny on the other side. Okay, so if you're trying to come up with ideas, if you're thinking, okay, I need new ideas, more ideas for marketing and bringing new clients in, my first thing I would tell you is, and if you and I have a strategy session, you're going to hear me say, what have you done already? And then you're going to hear me say, okay, what worked and what didn't? Because there's a lot of gold in the stuff that we've done previously that worked that we just kind of forget about. So a lot of times there's stuff that we can dust off. Yesterday I had a conversation with somebody, and it was we were talking about needing new ways of marketing, and I asked her, well, what has she done in the past? And I asked if she had a client referral program, and it turns out she did have a client referral program, but it wasn't really working. And when we dug a little deeper, we realized it's not working because she hadn't given enough exposure to her clientele and her new clients coming in. So I know for sure that a client referral program works. And I know some of you are really on the ball with your own client referral program. And you spent time and a little bit of money putting together some marketing material for that. So I know that, Danica, you have a really great client referral program that you made some really nice brochures to give away, little cards to give away, sorry. So, rather than just launching something because you feel you should, or somebody's told you and you're kind of rapidly trying to put this out to make it work, first, go back, dig out what you had, dust it off, look at what worked, and repeat that. Okay. So launching too quickly is my number 2 point here. The third thing is that why some ideas work and why others don't has to do with the follow through. So if you are staying on the course for this new thing, this new tactic, this new system that you launch, say a client referral program, it's not enough to just kind of put it out there once or twice. You have to have that consistency where you're constantly letting know all of your new guests. You are using this as part of your social media. You're putting in your social media, once every 10 days. Hey, ask me about my client referral program. And you can say that use that same content said different ways and using different graphics. And it's part of your educating your tribe about who you are and what you offer and the perks of your business. So that's one thing about follow through, is just that repeat visibility. And if you were in my Instagram marketing for spas, that's where social media lives, in awareness and repeat visibility. So letting your guests know, letting your clients know through social media is a really easy way to keep that consistent follow through. The other thing about follow through is measuring. And this is where a lot of spa owners kind of drop the ball when they've launched something new, is they don't consistently measure what the outcomes are. And the reason why this is a problem is if you don't measure, you have no idea if something's working well or not. And you can't course correct quickly if something is a little off. So measuring is another place where, the leadership can kind of fall off and cause a new idea, something innovative that you're launching to be a flop. Not giving it enough time. not giving your idea enough time to get the word out, to see some momentum happening in it. There's no such thing as this kind of quick fix in business. And I think our industry, it tends to be like, oh my God, I'm slow this week. How do I get more people into my space? How do we get more bookings? I need them now. Well, the fact of the matter is you should have started that, your client attraction, or even if you want to break it down into your client referral program, you should have been kicking your client referral program into gear 2 or 3 months ago, because you would have been reaping the rewards when you're quiet. Okay, so give it enough time. Just because it doesn't work in a week, sometimes you see people coming back within a week, and that's awesome. But any kind of business system takes time to get rolling. Okay, and I kind of talked about this a little bit already, is dumping the idea before you have time to course correct. So anyways, those are my 3 points about why some of your business ideas are a total thumbs up and why some of them totally circled the drain. And I challenge you to look back on the last thing that you did in your business, that, whatever that tactic was, whether it was marketing, whether it was bringing in a new product line, whether it was launching a new service. Go back in your head, and if you can, go back into your booking system and your point of sale system and look at your numbers to see what the actual outcomes were. Because sometimes what we think works really well, and then when we look at the numbers, it can tell a different story. Okay, so I challenge you to look back on a project that you've just done and see if you can identify if you maybe you did, maybe it worked really, really well, and you can identify that you really spent the time on your research, your market research, and your planning, and you really dove deep into that. And then you took your time with the launch, like you had a plan. You don't just kind of, if you brought in a new product line, a lot of money to invest, and it's on your shelves, and then you kind of blast and flood your social media feeds with, new line. When you launch something, there needs to be a period of time where you warm people up, you kind of tease them a little bit. There's a process to doing a launch. So maybe you did your launch really well and you saw the rewards from that. Maybe the last idea that you executed, you did really well on the follow through. You watched what the numbers were, what was happening. You kept track of those client referrals on your computer. So when somebody new comes in, there's usually a little something where it says, how did you hear about us? And you should have the client referral program as one of those options. So, go into your system and see what your numbers are actually telling you. So if you've been looking at your numbers and you saw, yeah, man, I totally rocked that whole thing, and I hit all of these 3 points, and that's why it was a success. Or maybe there was something that kind of the system kind of went meh, and there was just a few things that you did or didn't do as far as kind of speed and research and launching and following through. So I'm going to wrap it up. It's just a short little one today, and I've got my son and his grandparents coming over, and they're showing me their new puppy, so I gotta go. Anyways, you guys have a great day. I'm starting work in a few hours here in my studio. It's fully booked today and tomorrow, but I'm going to be on Periscope tomorrow as well. I'm just not sure exactly what time. I'm going to try to figure where that's going to work into my schedule. It might be more like an 8:30 short little scope. Have a great day, you guys, and thanks for joining me.